Expansion is life and contraction is death. This is what Swami Vivekananda had said long time ago. Now, this word expansion, what does it actually mean to us? This word contraction, the opposite of expansion, what is the significance of these two words in the context of our life? When we see our life, most of the people in the world, we would see that there is a lot of stress, worries, anxieties, tension. They're all the time depression prevailing in the young people and the students, confusions, uncertainties, insecurities prevailing as a viral in the world. Not to all, but most of us experience this in our life. Now, when you put all of them in one basket, how does it feel? Is that expansion or contraction? On the other side, if you feel that you are visiting a place and it's a beautiful place and you have joy, you have happiness, you are enjoying, there is a lot of positivity. You have some wonderful friends, you are chatting with them, traveling with them, and then in life, beautiful things are happening. You are in harmony, peace. You practice meditation, stillness. When you put all of this in another basket, would you call it contraction or expansion? I'm sure this metaphor will make it clear what do we mean by expansion and why did Swami Vivekananda said expansion is life, contraction is death. Expansion means adding quality to our life. Contraction means losing the quality of life. So when we add quality into our life, there is an integration. So expansion also means integration. And this integration, when we translate in Sanskrit, we get a beautiful word, yoga or yoga. I find integration to be the most practical translation of the word yoga. When we practice yoga or when we invest in yoga, integration happens in life. And when we are not in the realm of yoga, when we are disconnected with yoga, viyoga happens, contraction happens. And then there is stress, worries, anxieties, diseases, pandemic, and all this. In the collective format, there are all kinds of catastrophic calamities which are results of viyoga, being disconnected. And this disconnection is done by the ego. On one hand, we have the ego. On the other hand, we have that energy. You may call it God, you may call it, I don't care. There is nothing in that name. I call it nature, the mother nature. So when we are in the mother nature, we are integrated. Just look at the nature. What is the teaching? What does nature teach us? The nature teaches us integration, harmony, being together, being one. Oneness happens to be the message of the mother nature. And on the other side, ego, just opposite of oneness, you call it separatedness. At that realm, we basically work on our form. Look at our form when we stand in front of the mirror. What do we see? A periphery, a limit, and that's we. And when we invest in that perception, we continue to get limited. We continue to get separated from the whole. Behind the domain of that periphery, there is some energy which is driving us, which is not visible, and that is formless. If we are able to access that formless existence of ours, then what will happen? Those peripheries will get diluted, extinct. Then we shall merge with the nature. Then there is no distinction, there is no segment, there is no compartment. There is oneness. So, yoga means integration. Yoga means our connectedness, our wholeness. Somebody says wholeness is holiness. So, the real meaning of expansion is integration. The real meaning of expansion is yoga. And real ramification of the word yoga is connecting our form with our formless existence together. When in our perception we get disconnected with our being, our formless being, then we become alone, lonely. We become small. We become reduced or contracted, according to Swami Vivekananda. So, when he said expansion is life, contraction is death, actually, he was talking about yoga. He was advising us in a very subtle way. Bring yoga into your life. And then you will add quality into your life. Quality in the form of health, quality in the form of wealth, quality in the form of joy, happiness, fulfillment, bliss. Some wonderful lifelong relationships, great creativity, contribution into the world. All these things are the results of integration or yoga. So when we come down to the practice of yoga, we only look at the yoga asana, we look at the pranayam, we look at the meditation, but we miss out the actual concept and the philosophy behind it, which Swami Vivekananda had taught us. Expansion is life. The yoga happens to be that big thing, versatile thing in our life. It's a matter of attitude, it's a matter of lifestyle, it's a matter of a new way of living life, where all the scarcities, all the limitedness, all the scantiness in our life gets diluted. And then we enter that zone of fulfillment. And then we get connected. We get connected with the whole. So that's exactly what is yoga. Let's coming to the basic, practical meaning of yoga, practical activity of yoga, what we actually do. You see, we have 4 dimensions of our total entity in this name and form, and in totality, our total being and the total, material format all put together, we have 4 dimensions: body, mind, intellect, and spirit. As in Bhagavad Gita, it said, Indriya, Mana, Buddhi Swaha. All this put together is our total personality. So when we talk about integration, yoga, we mean that you connect your body with the mind, and the mind with the intellect, and the intellect with the spirit, so you become whole. Your body, mind, intellect, spirit all get connected, and you readily, spontaneously experience that wholeness as a way of your life. And that is why the practice of yoga is essential in our life. That's in the philosophical format. But it is very difficult for all of us to, readily perceive that philosophical um, magnitude in our life, because not all of us live a very advanced spiritual life. We all are spiritual people, but not all of us have perceived spirituality in the true meaning of the word. So we are in the mundane world. We work hard, we work for our success, we want to earn money, we want to build relationship. So in that domain also, what is the benefit of being in yoga? The benefit is our life will be full of well-being. Diseases will be away. We do not have to run after doctors and professionals all the time in order to survive. We should be happier, more contented. We shall have more energy, more stamina, more creativity. We see beautiful things happening in our life. We shall be able to see synchronicity or coincidences happening in our life. All these are practical results of being in yoga. Now, how we are entering into that science right now? Give me all your attention, because this is something very, very interesting. Now, when we say body, mind, intellect, let's keep the spirit pending for a while. When we talk about body, mind, and intellect all put together, this is one element together. There are actually two elements into our life. One is body, mind, intellect put together, one, and spirit, another. How to define that? What is the difference between body, mind, intellect and spirit? Very simple. Body, mind, intellect all are related to our form, and spirit does not have a form. It is related to our formless reality. So one is form, another is formless. Many of you might have a question. Let's see. Yes, I understand body is a form, but how do I understand mind is a form? How do I understand intellect is a form? Now, let me tell you, mind and intellect are not excluded from the body. They have actual existence inside your body, our body. I never knew it. I have recently found that out from a very brilliant book which I have read. And it said, your body is your subconscious mind. And this lady, Candace Scott, a very, very great neuroscientist who had contributed immensely into, into the scientific understanding of the physiological realities about her life. The lady has passed away um, recently, a couple of years before. But her brilliant book, The Molecule of Emotion, world bestseller. And this small one, you can get that and read it. And very interesting. It says, your body is the subconscious mind, and she has proved. Your mind is there in every cell of our body. We have about 100 trillion cells into our body, and each cell has a receptor. And our mind exists in the receptor. Every emotion have got a physical, particular entity. You know, emotions have got particles. And every time you experience an emotion, there are neurochemicals released. from the receptors of your cells, and they travel through our blood all over our body, and somewhere they get stuck. And if you continue to feel those emotions, they get densities, they get accumulated in those parts. And when they get condensed or intensified, jumbled in those parts, they take the form of cancer, tumor, degeneration of bones. Everything happens through emotion. Your body is basically a gross form of the energy. So everything is controlled by our emotions. So your mind is a part of the body. And what is intellect? Intellect is a higher mind. And it's more subtle part of the mind which distinguishes, separates, compares the values through which you live your life. Should I do it? Should I not? Is it good? Is it bad? See, all the time, those moral codes and those, based on your past understanding, your subconscious preoccupation, your intelligence, so-called, guides us to make choices. And then our mind acts. So you got body, mind, and intellect put together as one unit, as a part of our form existence, form identity. And now, there is now the other identity, which is the formless essence of our life. And that has various names. You may call it your being, essence of your being. You may call it spirit. You may call it consciousness. You may even refer to it as cosmic energy, universal energy, because with all these that is connected. That formless realm is connected with the whole formless space and the universe. So that's why we say we are actually connected, we are one. But we are not connected at the lower level of our body. We are connected at the higher level of our consciousness. Now, when we talk about yoga practices, great people like Patanjali, who are they? They had realized the truth. It is not that they sat in a laboratory and did research. They've actually realized the whole connected reality. We all can realize that. And that is the purpose we go into yoga. And then those processes were designed and communicated by them as Yoga Sutra, as asanas, as pranayamas, as dhyanas, and all those things were formatted for the benefit of the mankind so that we don't get contracted, reduced, diluted. We don't get extinct. We really perceive the real purpose of our creation. We discover the God in us. So aham brahmasmi, that reality can be perceived so that your body, mind, intellect, and your formless reality, the spirit, all become one and integrated. This is the purpose of yoga. And great rishis like Patanjali had found and created ways to experience that connection, to practice those connections, so that we get out from this disease mode or the contraction mode and we get into the expansion mode all the time. Those are the processes. YPM, yogasana, pranayam, and meditation. Let me come to that now. As we have seen, body, mind, intellect is one unit. Let's call it body. Now, in that body, there are many parts. There are many parts. There are many organs. But primarily, we work with three elements, which keeps us mobile. One is the bone structure, the skeleton, that keeps us tall and wide and moving. When we move, actually our bones in the legs are moving, right? And then we have muscles. One is bone, another is muscles. And then we have nerves, right? Haddi, peshi, snayu. The whole mobility of our life is primarily coordinated from these three domains. Our yogic exercises and pranayams have primarily to do with these three aspects, not dhyan. Dhyan has got a different domain. But your bones, your muscles, and your nerves, these three elements are coordinated by the practice of asanas. There are various mudras. You are guided by the acharya who tells us these mudras and how to be connected with our mind, how to be here and now. And then what happens? Your body and mind gets connected through the asana practices. What actually happens in the asanas is the internal part, which is very interesting. Now, just think of your bones. Can it function all by itself? What is it that makes the bone flexible, mobile? Your muscles. So, if you think of a hierarchy in a metaphorical form, right? Bone is the lowest in the hierarchy, and then you have muscles which is controlling the bone, right? Suppose you want to move from here to there. The muscles get the message from the brain and makes the bone move. So we change our positions from here to there. So the muscles and bones, they are interconnected. The muscles in the hierarchy. But is that all? What is controlling the muscles? Now, this is one area where not much of work has been done. The nerves control. The nerves control the muscles. The nerve manages the muscles. How? Like when you got to move from this place to that place, your muscle makes the bone move. But how does the muscle know? The muscle has got that nerve connection with the brain, the wiring through which informations get transmitted. So nerve is the higher in the hierarchy, right? So on the top you have nerves, on the middle you have muscles, and the last we have bones. Now, when we go to the gym, what happens? We do some exercises. Primarily, those exercises can maximum help us to coordinate our muscles and the bones. But the gymnasiums and their regiments and their systems, to the best of my knowledge, don't have much to do with exercise of the nerves. Okay. Now, when it comes to yoga, these three things are coordinated: the muscle, the bone, and the nerves. In the asana part, the nerve exercise is not the whole, only little. And that's why we go to the next level in pranayam, which is a breathing exercise. So breathing happens to be the real exercise of the nerves. Asana also has some part in contributing the nerve exercises, but the real part is done by the pranayam. So you have yoga and the pranayam, the postural practices, asanas, and the breathing practices through pranayam. And when we practice this regularly under a seasoned or enlightened acharya who knows the whole thing, we shall very quickly develop the basic things of integration. Our body, mind, intellect will get integrated totally. And then our bones and muscles and the nerves all will start functioning well. But all this put together is 10%. The real 90% is our formless. Let's say we are only tip of the iceberg, the physical entity, the real part in the formless world. Let me have some tea. So that formless part, which is called consciousness, that also needs to be integrated. That also needs to be integrated. And how that is integrated? Through dhyana, meditation. So basically, when we do dhyana, we transcend the level of the physical perceptive reality, and we are guided to ascend into a higher reality of stillness, and then we get connected with our real formless existence. So this is the basic science of yoga, pranayam, and meditation together. In order to integrate our body, mind, intellect, and spirit, so that we have real spiritual growth, development, and enlightenment in our life, which is the ultimate goal. The mundane benefits I have already explained to you. Why I am saying this? You see, One Voice, which is our community, we have a very brilliant, beautiful group where we learn yoga for the last about maybe 7-8 months or 9 months. I exactly don't remember. So there is a wonderful group of people from Pan India. We have assembled and we are learning from a master. And our master is an enlightened yogi. For long years, since childhood, he has practiced and he understands the great nuances of the yoga, and many of which I have explained to you. More will be explained by him when you meet him. So he stays in Australia some time of the year, and then he comes to India. So he stays between India and Australia. At this moment, he is in Australia for the last couple of months, and he guides us from Australia. And we meet thrice a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, only for 1 hour, 6:30 to 9:30. The group of people who had joined a couple of months before have now advanced. We have got into the level 2. It doesn't mean that we have become masters, but yes, we have been with him and we have learned the certain asanas and pranayamas, and now we are learning more of it, a little advanced from it. Now, new group has been invited, and I'm inviting you to join the new group and avail of this premium opportunity, the ultimate opportunity of attaining complete spiritual excellence, living a spiritual life, and getting into that expansion mode, getting out of the disease mode, and being in the wellness mode, and live a real high quality spiritual life. Now, when you listen to this and you feel inclined, let me inform you. Listen to me very carefully now. On Monday, that is, today happens to be 20th. So 22nd, today is Saturday, Monday is 22nd, morning 6:30 Indian Standard Time. If you are interested, after listening to this video, you must send a message, I'm interested to learn, or interested yoga, only this much. And then we shall send you a link, but you must come early. Everything has got some discipline, and we need to report well before 6:30. From 6:20 onwards, the platform will be open, so you join in. And right at 6:30, the Acharya will come and we'll have a meeting, a get together, 1 hour. There'll be no asana practice except a little bit of pranayama and dhyana at the end and little prayers in the beginning. We will have question answer session, and we shall be explained what is yoga. And then based on the feedbacks, you must share your feedback. What is your need? Why are you going to be there? What would you want to learn? So all these factors you will be asked and you will reply. And based on your feedback, the actual plan will be drawn, how this new group will start learning along with the old group. We are already in the advance. So I feel that I have been able to communicate with you in a very informal mode certain deep realities and scientific backdrop of the yogic practices, the pranayama and meditation. Do share with me how you feel about this video, and do write your feedback. And those of you who are interested to join on the 22nd at 6:30, don't delay anymore. Please mention your name and your WhatsApp number, and just write interested yoga. So welcome you to this brilliant journey. Let's travel together and make our life a beautiful place. Thank you very much.